Welcome to the Phoenix dashboard. If you are not a user, click on the Register button. Fill in all the necessary information and then move on to choose a demo from the list. When choosing the UMU demo, there is no need to choose any building or zone. However, choosing, for example, the comma demo, you will need to further select a building and then a corresponding zone. As a building manager, you are able to select multiple buildings and the zones are automatically chosen for you from all the available in the selected buildings. When you are ready, click on the Sign Up button and then proceed to login. If this is your first login, you will be prompted to complete a quick questionnaire. Some of the questions are used for statistical reasons, and some of them define your comfort preferences to be used from the respective service. Continuing at the At a Glance page after login, you can find general information for the status of the building and of a default zone. Firstly, choose a building from the drop-down. Current ambient sensor measurements and personal comfort info is displayed as well as some details for the selected building. A Not Authorized label means that a user does not have access to the specific data. Building Smart Readiness Indicator Summary is also available and is related with the chosen building from the drop-down. You can also choose a zone to see relevant info for the Energy Performance Certificate. At the bottom, a graph of the building energy consumption of the past 7 days is provided. Moving now at the Areas page, a list of all available building areas is displayed. Each one is accompanied by their estimated occupancy status. Sensor information can be found at the page Available Sensors. Choosing a zone from the drop-down provides a list of the relevant sensors and meters. Sensor data can be found at the respective page where, by selecting a zone, you can see firstly the current sensor measurements. And if you click at the tab, Yesterday Data, you can see yesterday's hourly measurements. Visualization of the building's consumption is available at the Energy Consumption subtab. Consumption at zone level from those zones available at the respective drop-down is also available. From the upper drop-down, select either the daily or the yesterday's hourly representation. The summary of consumption reflects the current choice. At the Zone Consumption graph, you can choose which consumption bars you would like to hide. At the Energy Generation subtab, total generation of the respective period selected at the drop-down of the below graph is displayed. Current battery state of charge and status is also available for buildings that have a battery installed. Alternative visualization of the energy generation is available with a daily resolution. At the demo sites where self-consumption optimization service is offered, an optimal scheduling of the EV/battery charging is provided, along with the respective self-consumption metrics to be achieved based on the schedule. At the last tab, solar domestic hot water consumption of the previous day is displayed. For more detailed comfort information of a building, switch to the Comfort tab and choose a zone. Similarly, to get health-related information, you can navigate to the Health and Well-being tab and select a zone. If you visit the Smart Readiness tab, you will find several differently calculated representations of SRI based on the chosen building at the drop-down. The static scores are provided through a file uploaded by the building manager, and the 3 values at the top, as well as the overall score of the first building, are the ones shown at the at-a-glance page. At the upper bar, there is a small bell with which you can see the most recent notifications. The number in the red dot indicates the unread ones. To display all the available notifications, click the Show All button or navigate to the Information tab. Let's click on the Show All button. Here you can see all the notifications or use the drop-down to filter the notifications based on their type. You can also rate a notification or set it as read by clicking on the red star. As a manager, there are several extra features that you can exploit. At the sidebar, navigate to the Demand Flexibility tab. Here you can see all the flexible assets in their current configuration. If you wish, you can change the flexibility type of a device to shiftable, controllable, or both. You can also choose a different time window, and if you want the window to close at the end of the day, you should choose the last option. A different value for the controllability factor can be set as well, with 0.1 to be the lowest level of controllability. When you are ready, save your changes. At the Smart Readiness tab, as a manager, after you choose a building from the drop-down, you can upload a file containing all the relevant static SRI scores, simply by clicking on the Upload Excel File button. You can also trigger the blackout service if available from the at-a-glance page, 1 day before it is expected to happen. If you visit the Maintenance and Fault Prediction tab, you are able to see a list of messages regarding device's status. Thank you for using the Phoenix dashboard. If you have any questions or you need assistance, you can contact us.